The Detroit Lions are an absolute mess. They are back to being the laughingstock of the NFL. Everybody, coming out of Hard Knocks was thinking, oh man, they're such an easy team to root for and blah, blah, blah. And we are 5 weeks into the season and we're back to same old Lions. Just, it's a mess. We played the Patriots, lost 29-0. Not to the backup quarterback, actually to the third string quarterback. Mac Jones is the starter. Brian Hoyer is the 2. He actually got injured, I think last week or the week before. And Bailey Zappi is the quarterback, and he beat us yesterday. The aggression that Dan Campbell has with his fourth down decisions is killing the Lions. It's killing us. I still go back to the Vikings game, 4th and 4. If you get that, conversion, who knows? Let's say you win the game, but instead of being 1-2, you'd be 2-1. If I'm doing my games correctly, you'd be 2-1. I'm sorry, no. First game, yeah, you'd be 2-1. And you'd be first in the division, because at that point you would have been the only 2 teams to play a division game. You'd win that, you'd be 1-0. And instead, that 4th and 4 decision, it just goes out the window. Then the defense can't get a stop. Vikings win, we lose. Then we get Seattle, who you would look at as I penciled in Seattle and New England as winnable games, and foolish of me, but you think those are 2 teams that it's essentially a toss-up. You've got a chance, right? You're not playing freaking the 49ers or a team like that, the Bills, which we are going to play them this year, and it's just bad. I mean, Dan Campbell is still going for multiple 4th downs and just not making sound decisions. I saw it online. I think it was Nick Baumgartner, who would basically put that how erratic all of the decisions seem to be. Like, it's just all over the place. It's emotional. It's just, shooting from the hip. There's not any, rationale and thought put into it. Like, we get our first 4th down is 4th and 9 from, I think, about the 35-yard line. So it would either be a long field goal of 50, 51 yards, or you could punt it and try to pin the third string quarterback in deep in his own territory, play a little field position game. And at that point, you're down 6-0. So whatever decision you want to make, I think, is the right one outside of going for it, because the odds on that is just so low. And of course, it doesn't work. Jared Goff gets pressure, gets hit, fumbles, they scoop and score, and we're down 13-0, and just on from there. And it's just so frustrating to be basically to have your season over in 5 games. That is wild. I thought this team could maybe win 7, 8, 9 games, somewhere in that range, if you get a couple games go your way, a couple bounces, things of that nature. But no, we aren't even putting ourselves in position to possibly even get those bounces. It just, when you're not a really good team, your head coach can't do things to hurt you as a team. And that's where we are right now with Dan Campbell. And I texted a friend, and I even put it on Twitter. If this trend continues with Dan Campbell and his decision making all year, you would have to potentially think about firing him. You can't, that's the one thing you can't do, is to continue to have your decision making hurting the team, impacting the outcome of the game in a negative way, right? If you're doing it and it's impacting the game positively, that's the elite coaches. But we're on the flip side of that, and I don't know. I don't know how it's going to keep rolling. But boy, oh boy, a far cry from when we were 1-1 to be 1-4 at this point. But yeah, I just don't know how you don't look at this season and say this is a wrap. It's pretty much over. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you're a Lions fan, you've probably been through this before. We all have. But yeah, so our season is over, 5 weeks in, and here's the bye week. So here we go. That's it for me. Let me know your thoughts.